You should have this either printed up and in your hands, best case scenario, or at least uploaded so you could look at it. It's the workbook for class. And it's free. But it'll only help you if you use it. With that, take a look at page 1. The aim of empowering speech is to empower people with the direction needed to properly compose and deliver any and all presentations with credibility and confidence. Why do I highlight the word confidence? Because confidence seals the deal. Confidence makes the sale. Confidence gets the vote. Confidence persuades the action. And every time a person is called to the front of the room to stand up and speak, they have also been called to lead the room. And the only way you can do that most effectively is with confidence. And with that considered, everything in this class is geared towards not only helping you step up to the front of the room and speak, but to do it with great confidence. Take a look at what's highlighted in yellow. It says public speaking is 5% direction and 95% doing. What this means is the logistical mechanics of what is needed to properly organize your thoughts, stand up and deliver, is incredibly simple. That's why it can be given to you in only 14 pages. Size 16 font, I will add, with lots of illustrations. The information is simple, clear, practical, and immediately employable, if you are wise enough to put it into practice. Understanding this material will be incredibly simple, but being wise enough to do what it says, to follow the direction, that's a great challenge for many. That's why it says 5% direction, 95% doing. Only you can choose to be wise enough to apply this information. And I will add, any information you get in any class. There's a difference between understanding and wisdom. Understanding means you get it. Wisdom means you do it. I want to encourage all of you to do the things that this book says to do with regards to your speeches. I promise it will work. With that, back to the yellow highlight, 5% direction, 95% doing. You know, from 2000 to 2016, I was blessed to direct the speech and debate team here at Valley College. And every year, at the beginning of the semester, I would have anywhere from 20 to 100 new students to welcome into the program. And I would always give this speech. I would say, if I had to choose between student A and student B, I would always go with student B. Student A might be very attractive and Oscar-worthy in their ability to perform, but they could not follow and commit to direction. That made them worthless. Student B might look funny, stutter, walk with a limp, but if he or she were willing to follow the direction of me and the other coaches, guaranteed they would stand up at college speech tournaments, speak, shine, and collect awards. I often refer to speech as the great equalizer. It doesn't matter who you are or what you look like, but if you have a pulse and a voice and you can follow direction, you can stand up and shine. Anyone can. I've preached this as a competitive coach my entire coaching career. In 2008, however, I had it validated big time on a professional level in the real world. I had a client. His name is Mr. Rich. He's the CEO of one of the largest companies in the world. Their headquarters at the time was here in Los Angeles. His company had just made a $17 billion company merger. As a result, he had 2,500 new employees to welcome into his company and inspire. He hired me to help him. We went through everything we went through in this workbook. I tell my clients I can give you everything you need in 3 hours. Often, however, clients who don't have a lot of time, have extra money, and want people to do things for them will maintain a relationship with me. So we finished our time together, and I thought I was saying goodbye. And Mr. Rich says to me, I'd like to meet with you next week. And I said, great. And he said, give me some homework. Well, I wasn't ready for that. Here's this person that is in charge of more than I can ever comprehend, asking me to give him some homework. So I improvised. I said, okay, we'll do this, 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 and this. I will see you next week. Following week, I went down to his headquarters and was guided into his office, a big, dark oak room, larger than the home I was living in at the time. And the receptionist says to me, Mr. Rich is on a conference call. He's going to be a little late. What do you say to that other than I'll be waiting? So anyways, I'm waiting there, and I notice there's paperwork spread out all across the table, and they were doing really interesting things at this company. In fact, I had to sign waivers stating that I would not invest with anything I learned there or talk about it with anybody. So nobody's in the room. I decided to take a look at what was all over the table. It was all the homework I had given Mr. Rich. I'm not used to people doing their homework. When Mr. Rich walked in the room, I said, Mr. Rich, you did all your homework. He looked at me like I said something stupid and said, I'm paying you to help me, so I'm going to do exactly what you tell me to do. I was overwhelmed at that moment. There's a reason this man is in charge of everything that he's in charge of, because he's focused on direction like a laser beam. With that, I give you 7 directives for credible and confident public speaking. And I've got to give credit where credit is due. I used to call these essentials. When I first wrote this workbook, I had 7 things I knew I wanted to share with my students. I couldn't call them things, so I pulled a cliche term out of the air, essentials. I called them essentials. It was my time with Mr. Rich that so inspired me to change the word from essentials to directives because of the direction I was giving and the direction that Mr. Rich so wanted to receive. And I hope and pray all of you will receive the direction as well. Let's take a look at these directives. Directive 1, a public speaker must acknowledge and actively manage their anxiety. Directive 2, a public speaker's #1 concern is always their audience. Directive 3, a public speaker's preparation is the key to presentation success. Directive 4, a public speaker must have an organized mind. Directive 5, a public speaker must offer a balance of emotion and logic in order to achieve credibility. Directive 6, a public speaker must commit to their performance. And Directive 7, a public speaker must fully celebrate every opportunity to speak. What I've just done is given you a preview of what we're going to do for the next few weeks. Notice what it says at the bottom. Own the burden of your success. Your success is yours, and you have to choose it. With that, this workbook, Empowering Speech, will only empower you if you use it. And in this class, you will need it to do the big takeaway discussions. You will need it to prepare the 2 major speeches in this class, the informative speech and the persuasive speech. And I promise you, if you lean on it, it will make your time in this class successful and smooth. And you might even find out that you have been empowered with a skill set that will help you out in classes and life. I look forward to doing this with you.